Hi everyone, I'm GREYMOND. Today I wanted to answer a very important question. I get asked this a lot, is how many exposures should I do per day when it comes to OCD recovery? I would say that, first of all, as many as possible, but keeping in mind that it's not the exposure that's important, it's the response prevention. Anybody who has OCD is already in exposure. Unless you're doing, a lot of avoidance, but you're already in exposure. So it's just the response that's wrong. So you need to make sure that whatever exposures you do, you're able to do proper response prevention. So I would say if you're not sure if you're going to be able to do response prevention, or if you have a feeling that in the last minute you might back out and start to do reassurance behaviors, try to reduce the level of exposure, meaning maybe depending on the situation, do it for shorter exposure or less intense exposure, so your anxiety doesn't go up so much to the point where you can't handle it and you have to resort to reassurance behaviors or compulsions. But in terms of the number of exposures, I would say realistically, I would do 10 exposures per each theme that you have. So say, for example, if you have contamination OCD, and contamination OCD spreads to kitchen, bathroom, and hallway, just as an example, right? I would do exposures, 10 exposures for the bathroom, 10 exposures for the kitchen, 10 exposures for the hallway. So you want to make sure you cover all the areas, not just target one area, because especially with physical stuff, if you are targeting one, there's a big chance that the other ones could be getting worse. So you want to make sure you're targeting all of the situations, at least to some degree. You don't have to do everything. It's not an all or nothing thing, but do a little bit of something from each trigger. If your OCD is more of a pure type of OCD, pure obsessional type of OCD, meaning that there's not a lot of compulsions, there's no compulsions, so it's just thoughts, then gradually exposing yourself to the thoughts and exposing yourself to things that trigger the thought. So say, for example, say if your OCD is religious in nature, and if you look at religious objects, they trigger the thoughts, right? Or say your OCD is has relationship in nature, right? So say, for example, then looking at your partner could trigger thoughts, right? So those kinds of things. So you're, again, exposing yourself, but the point is to refuse reaction, to prevent the response of fear. So that is the most important thing. So you have to make sure that you do that, and you do it a lot in the course of the day. I mean, when I say 10, just so you kind of understand, I mean kind of a minimum of 10. With clients, I do 50 exposures, 100 exposures per day, but it depends on what you are willing to do. But at least doing 10 per day is, that's what you need to do. So if you're just doing one per day and you're wondering why you're not feeling better, or you do one every few days and you're wondering why you're not feeling better, chances are you're not doing enough exposures. And again, exposure and response prevention. And this is something I actually see very often. So I just wanted to kind of bring it up. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. I talk daily about all things related to OCD recovery. If you would like to do one-on-one recovery program, all the information is on youhaveocd.com. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.